Here we are at Armstrong Park. Captain Chip here. Gonna do a little ride to test out this Tongsheng motor. We're gonna ride from this trailhead on the Palatka to St. Augustine Rail Trail. I like starting here and just going to Hastings when I'm wanting to do just a short ride. It's only about 11 miles round trip. This is a real nice little park. There are restrooms. There's play areas over there with the jungle gym. Nice place. Okay, I'm gonna get unloaded and suit it up and okay, let's go. This is just a little lead in here to the trail. Here's the trail right here. We're gonna turn left and head to Hastings. This first road crossing here is where we just drove past to get to the trailhead. Stop right up here and show you the first historical point. Right here, there's an old church. I hope you can see that. And it sits back in the woods there. It's all dilapidated. About there. It need to be torn down except for the historical value of it. Okay, let's go. About a mile down here is another historical stop. It used to be when they were building out this railroad, it was a night stop for the workers building the railroad. And the building's no longer there, I don't think, but there's a marker. I'll stop and show it to you when we get to it. I'm in Pass 2. Seems to be where I'm happiest on this bike, just judging from the short little ride I did yesterday around the neighborhood. So far I'm super impressed with this motor. It's very smooth. And it comes on slowly. And on my mountain bike, I would not like that, but on this gravel bike, that's fine. In fact, it's probably preferable. It's pretty easy here to make 15 miles an hour, which is about as hard as I want to pedal. Doing 14 and a half now. I think I mentioned yesterday that there's absolutely no need for the shifter cutout or the brake cutout, because when you stop pedaling, this motor stops right now. The highest gear on the back end of this freewheel is just a 13 tooth. I ordered another freewheel that's a 1032. Give me more speed. I'm finding that because it's so much easier to pedal now, I can make these rides so much faster. And I'll tell you what, it just makes it more fun. I hate to admit I need this assistance help, but I do. 77 years old. I don't foresee my strength improving as I continue to age. And I just love riding this bicycle. Pretty close up here where I want to stop and show you that I guess it's slave quarters. I don't know. Okay, this will show you what it looks like. It's called the Sand Cut Railroad Camp. And if you like, you can read that. Pause the video. Okay, let's go. We got a couple road crossings. We'll cross back over 207. Which is the road we came in on from St. Augustine. The main trailhead for this rail trail is on 207 in Vermont Heights. Now it does continue about 2.5 miles further towards the interstate, but then it just stops. I don't know if they ever have plans of building it out the rest of the way or not. But it does go all the way to Palatka. I've done that trip once from the trailhead at Vermont Heights, and it was, I think, 36 miles. I did it last fall, and it like to kill me, 36 miles. Man, I'll tell you, I was hurting for certain. I think this TSDX8 is going to solve that problem. Feels like I'm on my trainer at home with no resistance on pass 2. Over here to the right is people have horses. Big barn stable. This rail trail's not super smooth like the Santos Greenway is. Got a lot of roots pushing up through the asphalt. But as you can see, it's canopied and extremely comfortable. Air temp right now is about 85 degrees, and I feel really cool because I'm not in the sun. Now there's, just coming into Hastings, before we cross Main Street, there's a long stretch in the sun, and there's one shorter one before that, but almost the whole trail is canopied. If you didn't see my video yesterday when I did my short little hop around the neighborhood, which was actually the first ride, it was only a mile or two, I mentioned that the throttle, I tried the throttle, and it's extremely smooth. It's not like a vehicle car, you know, if you floor it, it squeals the tires and goes. This thing doesn't do that. You can push it all the way to wide open, and it just slowly accelerates. Takes a couple seconds to come up to full power. Very good safety feature. Coming up to the second road crossing right up here. It's a small road. There's usually no cars on it. I learned on that trip I did last year to Palatka, one of those road crossings over there in Orange Mills. I looked both ways and didn't see nothing, and checked again, didn't see nothing, and all of a sudden there was a car barreling around this corner at me. I slammed on the brakes and didn't get out of the clips and fell over like a moron. Looks like this guy up here is done riding. The guy in the truck that was barreling down on me stopped to help. I guess he's gonna wait on me. Okay, up ahead you can see cars passing. That's 207, that's a main crossing. They do have a crossing light if you use it. I've never actually seen anyone use it. Everybody just stops and waits. I've done this trip a couple dozen times, and I can count on one hand how many times I did not have to stop. Well, look at this, we got the first part. Not so much luck on the second part. That ain't bad. It's not like 207, there's a interstate or anything. So you just have to, all you have to do is just pause pedaling or slow down pedaling to shift. It's really works out nice. I never installed those brake cutouts. Now you're trying. I'm going 16 miles an hour. I couldn't do that without this motor for anything. I could hit it. I've had this bike up to 20 one time, but hard on the legs. On your left. Morning. On your left. Morning. Now, about as far as you can see up ahead on the trail, I believe that's a Deep Creek Bridge. Now I'm just sailing along at 16 miles an hour. I can't believe that. It feels like I'm in first gear. Always had to gear down 2 gears to get up this little grade to get on the bridge. Yeah, that's a Deep Creek. You can see the house over there. I believe this is way better exercise. Less work and a higher cadence, I believe, is better for me. I don't like that battery rattling. Have to put that on my list of things to look at. I think the slides on the battery and the luggage rack, back rack, have a little too much play in them. The only reason I installed the throttle on this thing was because I can see the day where I have a crash and get kind of injured and would have a hard time pedaling if I hurt my leg. And that throttle would get me home. kind of defeats the purpose of riding a bicycle, if you ask me, but I do consider it a safety measure. Reading online, apparently a lot of old farts like me use the throttle just to get going from a standstill. Once they get going, they pedal, don't use it. Now, I never thought of that. All the time I've been criticizing class 2 or class 3 bikes. It's here in Florida, these bikes, this is a class 3, and these bikes are not allowed on the mountain bike trails. If you have a throttle, you can't ride the mountain bike trails, which I entirely agree upon, because especially those electric motorcycles, man, they can tear up a trail in a heartbeat. I was riding Tilly Fowler up in Jacksonville one day, and some clown was out there on an electric motorcycle, and every single corner he just spun the tire, tearing up everything. Cops caught up with him. Some guy turned him in, he knew who he was. The cops actually went to his house, and I think all they did was give him a warning, but still, they will tear up a mountain bike trail. I don't think this one will spin the tires because the controller starts everything up slow and gradually. Morning.
Morning.
Okay, we're coming into Hastings. This is definitely going to be PRs for me on these sections. This is the wide open spot. We're up about as far as you can see ahead is Main Street in Hastings. We have to cross. Most of the time I have to stop there. Let cars go by. Moron didn't even have a helmet on. No shirt, no protection, no helmet. I rode this bike in flats for 38 years, I think. And I started riding clips on my mountain bike, and it was really helpful. Absolutely awesome. And when I got back on this bike in wintertime, I really miss that locked-in feeling, even though you don't need them on a gravel bike. Here's Main Street in Hastings. Sunday morning. Take a look at all the traffic. I see that guy on that incumbent. He started it where I did. This thing shifts amazing. You can even leave a little power on. It shifts wonderfully. I'm just running a cheap-ass turny shifter, derailleur. Yeah, come wintertime, I'll be making that ride to Palatka more often now. I don't like to ride this trail in the summer because there's too many open spots like this in the hot sun. In fact, just the other side of Hastings up here where we're going to stop at this park is 2.5 miles out in the sun. Hell with that in the summer. And we're almost hit the park in Hastings Trailhead. That's on this little road here. I usually stop over here on the left. There's a picnic table in the shade. Nobody there. I'm gonna ride out and show you the facilities here. They got restrooms. Oh, that's about it. A water fountain and restrooms. They do have a bike rack you can park your bike in. Morning. That's 207 again there. Stop out here and show you the sign. There's the sign. I guess you can see it. Cora C. Harrison Preserve. Small parking area. Let's go down to the picnic table and take a break. Although quite honestly, I don't feel like I need one. Morning. Okay, we're leaving the Hastings Trailhead. I think I got everything working here. For some reason my GoPro was froze up. When you're shifting, that little whine in the motor makes this bicycle sound like those new electric Indy cars. That's funny. When I do this little ride, I'm usually pretty tired and in need of a rest stop by the time I get to that picnic table back there. And I sit down and take my BPM with my Apple Watch, and usually takes 10 or 15 minutes to get my heart rate down below 100. Just now I did as I usually do, and it was already down to 100. So this bike definitely saves you some energy. Okay, at the Hastings Road again. And we're going to make it across. Can't say that I'd recommend this Tongsheng motor on a mountain bike, just for one reason, and that is other than the power coming on just with a little delay, but the wires, all the wire bundle comes right out of the bottom of this thing. There's no way to put on a bash plate or anything to protect them. Man, when you're mountain biking, you got to have better clearance than that, or else have a bash plate so you can bump over things. And you'd be tearing them wires up on the first ride. On this bike, doesn't really matter. I usually only ride it on the rail trail anyway. It's a cold day in hell when I ride on the road. I just don't trust distracted drivers. Seeing how I have been one so many times. Look at this beautiful piece of property over here. That's a heck of a lot of yard to mow. On your left. Thank you. think I have to be careful not to put too much pressure on these. It's old technology freewheel system these bikes have. On my hardtail mountain bike, I had to buy a whole new wheel set to change over to a cassette because I couldn't get more than 30 to 60 days out of an axle, especially the ones that it came with that are hollow with a quick release QRs. I got so tired of putting axles in that thing, I bought new wheels, spent a couple of $100 just so I could put a cassette on it, because the free hub is like 1,000% better, stronger. The hub I bought had 5 bearings in it. And this bike here, I'm running a solid axle, but it's still a freewheel. Man, I'm doing 17. Holy schmoly. Drop down from a 13 to a 10 high gear. This thing should be able to do 25. Pedaling. I did a little research on Tongsheng, and they've been in business since I was born in 1948. They're an electronics company in China. The whole build, just everything was first class. I didn't like the throttle either. I never tried it because you had to take everything off the bars to slide it on. It didn't open up clamshell. I'd bought one that was clamshell anyway. Getting close to the 207 crossing. Let's see, you usually time this. Oh no, a lot of cars. Try to stay slow enough. Go after this truck. Oh, we gotta clear the other way too. Some bitch. One of the things I've always liked and bragged about this whole bike is that it's so smooth. And I was afraid I was going to lose that good feeling with the motor, but I haven't. It's just a pleasure. Oh, had a limb fall since we come through here. Huh. Oh, that was not there 20 minutes ago. I'm glad I wasn't under it. Okay, coming up the Armstrong Road again. Hey, I'm feeling so good. I think I'll pedal on down to where the woods end, where you come out in the open by Jim's restaurant. Coming up on the Armstrong turnoff. That assist works so good. So good. I'm thoroughly pleased. Morning.
Hey.
Or afternoon, whatever it is. Let's see, we did 15 1/3 miles. It was that far. My battery's still at 87%. So counting yesterday, that's 15, 16, 17 miles. Only used 13%. Of course, the top of these batteries lasts way longer than the bottom. Okay, sports fans, that's all for this video. So y'all go out and make yourself a good day. Bye for now.